And then the worst part, y'all expect every black person to fall in line with this ideology. Because how dare a black person think for themselves, right? How dare someone not subscribe to this self-inflicted victimhood? Y'all want unity? Start by looking in the mirror. The truth is, black folks ain't even for black folks. The biggest threat to black people ain't Trump. It ain't the police. It ain't white people. It's us.
I'm sick of black people being afraid to say I disagree with what black people do. Like, I mean, we've created a culture where it's like if you black and you know stuff is wrong, you can't say nothing. Because then you turning on your own people. You're a traitor. You working for the white man. So a lot of black people that's like, no, bro, I want this to change. No, I know we need to call out the mess that's going on in these communities. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's asked me about this shirt. They love the shirt. Obviously, if you're a 2A supporter, this is a pretty cool shirt. I ain't gonna even lie. It stood out to me when we developed it, but if you want one, we got 20% off only for my YouTube people or people that hear this ad. 20% off. Just put 2A20, 2 Alpha 20, and you get 20% off this beautiful shirt. Make sure you go on and check out all the incredible merch. And if you're a first responder, if you're active military or retired military, if you're a teacher, a truck driver, all that, we have benefits and discounts for you. Let me show you exactly where it's at. You go right down from the main page, you scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you will see the discounts that are available for you right here. Commercial driver, government assistance, and government assistance mean if you are a disability, low income, unemployment, we give you a discount for life. So just go on, click verify, and get the discount. Shout out to you guys, tatumstore.com, tatumstore.com. Like and subscribe to the channel. You already know what to do. But let's talk about this real quick. I want to just bring this up because this man said it. I say it all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it because I think it's invaluable that we call out this stuff so things can change. I'm sick of black people being afraid to say I disagree with what black people do. Like, I mean, we've created a culture where it's like if you black and you know stuff is wrong, you can't say nothing. Because then you turning on your own people. You're a traitor. You working for the white man. So a lot of black people that's like, no, bro, I want this to change. No, I know we need to call out the mess that's going on in these communities. No, we need to hold these people accountable. No, I can't jump on board for Carmelo Anthony because he was wrong. Not because he's black or anything, because he's wrong. And I love that this man is one of many that are coming out, and I support men that do this, to saying, no. All of us don't think like this. All of us are not okay with this. Just because I'm black don't mean I'm okay with the foolery. I can be black and educated and not be a Republican and still know that the foolery is foolery. Roll the clip.
So I was just told that I've turned my back on the black community because of a recent video I did about Jasmine Crockett. I've been waiting on this one. What this is called is selective morality. Let's ignore the fact that ain't no white robes running through our neighborhoods, just black folks terrorizing other black folks. Let's ignore the fact that ain't no white supremacists shooting up our blocks. It's us. Let's ignore the fact that we make music glorifying our own destruction and then cry when the streets match the lyrics. We love screaming black unity, but will rob, jump, scam, and kill our own people with no hesitation whatsoever. Preaching we gotta stick together while setting up your own brothers and snaking your own sisters. Love blaming the society for why our neighborhoods look like war zones while cheering for the very culture that keeps them that way. Talking about black pride while rapping about murdering each other, turning women into baby mamas, and making it seem like being broke, violent, and ignorant is a personality trait. Everybody want to scream support black businesses, but will run to Gucci before you ever spend $1 with your own people while looking for a hookup at the same time. We want to whine about gentrification, but won't invest in your own community. Instead,
there you go.
Trash it. And then cries when somebody else moves in and builds it the up. And then the worst part, y'all expect every black person to fall in line with this ideology. Because how dare a black person think for themselves, right? How dare someone not subscribe to this self-inflicted victimhood? Y'all want unity? Start by looking in the mirror. The truth is, black folks ain't even for black folks. The biggest threat to black people ain't Trump. It ain't the police. It ain't white people. It's us. It's our own self-hatred, our own refusal to hold each other accountable, and our own addiction to playing the victim while glorifying the very that holds us back. Who's out here shooting up black neighborhoods? Not Trump. Who's rapping about killing each other, robbing each other, and treating our women like trash? Not Trump. Who's making our own communities unlivable, unsafe, and uninvestable, then crying about it and wondering why they won't build up our neighborhoods? Not Trump. Who raised us to fear and hate each other more than any racist system ever could? We did that to ourselves. But nah, let's keep blaming everything on racism, while we kill, rob, and destroy our own at a rate the Klan could only dream of. Let's keep pretending every black person is on the same team when half of y'all wouldn't even piss on another black person if they were on fire. Y'all would film it and yell World Star. Let's keep screaming about oppression while cheering on the destruction of our own communities. Y'all don't want justice. Y'all don't want unity. Y'all don't want progress. You just want an excuse to stay in the same cycle while blaming everyone else but yourselves. So nah, I'm not turning my back.
I don't know how we didn't have the rest of that clip, but he said, no, I'm not turning my back on the black community. I can speak for him. I'm not turning my back on the black community. I just want better. When you see a whole swath of society struggling to no end, I mean, this is something that has to be addressed by everybody. But unfortunately, if you white, you can't talk about it. So that's why black people talk about it. They got common sense. I'm not turning on the black community, but like, it's embarrassing. When I was living around nothing but black people, it wasn't as embarrassing, right? That's like if I was working for a company and where I was in the company and the company culture was a certain way, and I thought, oh, that's kind of normal. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, I don't like that. That's kind of stupid, but I didn't see anything different. And then I go work for a Fortune 500 company that do things right, and I'm looking at the perspective and I'm saying, whoa, that's horrible. I thought that a lot of people did. No, you tell me most people don't act like that? Most people don't do that? And this dude hit so many nails on the head, I can go over them, but it'll take me hours. But like, I grew up in the black neighborhood. And like, I tell this story all the time about my friend, Christasha. She was my friend. She don't like me no more because I married a white woman. You know how ridiculous that is? So Christasha used to be my friend. And I remember Christasha got paid out millions of dollars. She told me she got paid out millions of dollars. She was in some car accident. I don't know how they didn't rig that up. She was with her wife. She had a woman. And they crashed a company car because I think one of them fell asleep behind the wheel or something. And somehow Christasha got paid millions of dollars in a settlement. So she get paid out. She told me she went to the strip club or something the first night and spent $15,000 throwing money off the balcony. And then she goes on to say that she went to India because, you know, hair weave in the black community is like, I don't know if it's still like that, but back when I was growing up, man, weave was a commodity. I mean, every woman had weave in their hair, and it was hundreds of people, women spending tens of thousands of dollars on weave. So she went to India and got real hair, which if you got hair directly from India, you are a premium weave company. She started a business after spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in India with making a hair weave business, getting hair directly from a plug in India. Black people didn't support her at all. All our black friends, all the black people we grew up around didn't support her at all. And she had better weave than the Asians. They didn't support. She closed down. She blew all her money. She closed down. She didn't have no business. I remember growing up and we used to get boosters, meaning people that would steal stuff from Dillard's, from, you know, you name it, Dillard's, TJ Maxx. They probably couldn't go to Nordstrom. Well, they may did Nordstrom too. They go steal and they go sell the products in the hood, right? You go steal, you know, you see the videos of them going and grabbing racks of clothes and they run out there with toothbrushes and they go into all these places and they stealing all this stuff. What they do is they steal out and they go sell it in the hood with 100% profit margin. That was normal. But then you think back and you go, oh, this is why they follow y'all around in the store. Because you're stealing. And then we didn't care that they stealing and care the reputation of the black man is tarnished. We just want to get cheap stuff. So come on around here with that polo shirt that costs $10 a shirt, $20 for the shoes, polo socks and stuff. We used to do that. Now, some people may argue because of poverty, people decide to do things like that. But in my opinion, that's no excuse. Go get a job and go do like every other community and work hard for your money. And you don't need to always buy designer stuff. In Phoenix, Arizona. Now, of course, because I've been diligent with my money and I've been creating wealth and opportunities, I can go and shop in Louis Vuitton if I want to. I can go shop in Gucci. I actually have a couple Louis Vuitton bags because I love Louis Vuitton bags. So I had that luggage forever. I don't really buy other stuff in Louis because I don't want to buy Louis stuff like that. But I just like the bags and backpacks. But every time I go to Louis, God is my witness. I see poor people in there more than I see people with money. And how do you know they poor? You could tell a person don't have no real money because of the way they dressed when they in Louis Vuitton, the way they act when they're in Louis Vuitton. To be honest, when you got real money, you don't go shop in Louis Vuitton. You got a shopper and the stuff come up and you get the shopper to give you the stuff and they ship it to your house, or you go in Louis Vuitton to pick up your Louis that you bought from your shopper. You're not in Louis Vuitton searching around if you got Louis Vuitton money. So a couple times I've been in the mall just to look at a couple bags, and I got a shopper person there that they change them like they change underwear, so I don't even use the same person anymore. But I go in there and I remember seeing a couple black people in there one time. Lady got a Honda Civic key in her hand. She literally looked like she just woke up. She got pajamas on, just look ghetto. And I used to think to myself, this is why black people struggle financially and with economic success, because with a little bit of money, somehow we think we're validated by wearing designer clothes that we cannot afford. Why would you go into Louis Vuitton and buy a $1,500, $4,000 bag when that's more than your rent? Why would you go in? Why are you driving a Honda Civic? Why are you in Louis Vuitton? If you're driving a Honda Civic, unless you a billionaire and you just decide to drive a Honda Civic, if you're driving a Honda, you don't have Louis Vuitton money. Stop shopping at Louis Vuitton. Stop trying to impress people that are not impressible. Like, for instance, let me give you another example. This ain't even about black people no more. This is about foolish people. People don't understand that wealthy people know when you ain't got no money. A wealthy person that got money can see you with Louis on and know if you a Louis Vuitton, meaning that your last money went to Louis, or you can shop at Louis because you got money. People know that. So you think that you're going to go to Louis and Gucci and Fendi and you got a Fendi bodysuit on. People, who are you impressing? Other poor people? Because people that actually can afford Fendi is like, that's fake. That's a fake Fendi bodysuit. The Fendi don't make bodysuits, okay? And then you walk it through, you smell like it's burnt. So you got that Fendi bodysuit from China because it smelled burnt. Nobody's gonna burn in a fabric like that. You got cheap Fendi. You go to Louis, you got a Louis bag, but you flying. I see people because I fly first class when I travel. That's what I'm to that point right now where I fly first class because I need to get on and off the flight. I don't need to be waiting on nobody. I'm flying across the country, especially when I fly across the country. I need you to feed me. I need to be able to get on and off that plane so I can get the business, right? And that's just the way I've been flying. And when people book me to speak, they got to fly me first class. That's just the way it is. Okay. I used to not be a first class person and now I am. Okay. But I see people with Louis Vuitton bags and they flying coach. This is my opinion because there have been times I fly coach. Okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you're less than. But if you got enough money to spend $5,000 on a bag, you should have enough money to spend $800 on a first class flight. If you can't, you probably shouldn't have Louis. If you cannot make your car payment, you probably shouldn't have a Mercedes. If you're struggling to make your car payment and your phone bill payment. This is something that I think that when I was growing up, it sounded reasonable to do. And now that I'm older and I've been around people that make a lot of money, that rich people don't act like that. Wealthy people's car payments is a fraction of what they make. Literally, they can spend their car payment every day and not worry about it. Poor people, their car payment is a significant portion of their income. like one of your checks go to your car payment. That means that you're overextending yourself. For who? That car drive you to point A to point B, just like that Mercedes that you overspend on. I know I'm helping somebody help somebody, okay?